Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the United Way for Manchester United versus Fulham Premier League preview. One more game to go. Champions League is in the bag. Liverpool are going to be playing Thursday night next year, which I cannot wait to see. I've seen a smile on Tom's face. I'm not sure that's because I said we're back in the Champions League, because Liverpool are going to be playing on Thursday nights.
Both.
Which one? Nice. But join me today once again to preview the last Premier League game of the year, of the season. Is Tom? Tom, how's things?
Go on yourself.
Not too bad. Relaxed. Manchester United's top four in the bag. There's no tomorrow a win. Third place is ours, but third, fourth, wherever we finish, Champions League next season. Obviously, we played Chelsea on Thursday, which we beat them 4-1. Chelsea are so bad. Like I know they were bad, but Tom, I didn't know they I don't watch them every like.
Oh, they were so bad. Fofana was disastrous. They did not. They looked like an under 18s team. They were shocking.
Yeah.
Oh, they were so bad.
I mean, what were your thoughts on that game overall? Because I thought defensively in the first half we were poor.
Yeah, we were definitely shaky, but we were just very lucky like that Chelsea couldn't finish for the life of them. Like, I mean, if we play like that in the final, we're gonna get our asses handed to us. Like, I mean, we got the job done and it was a good scoreline, but at the same time, you'd want to be much more solid and much more comfortable in games than that. I mean, like you get away with it against the bad teams like them, but say you play a bigger team of better quality, there's going to be big issues. But you know what I mean? I'm hoping maybe we're just getting less rusted out of us before the final. That's what I'm hoping. Like, I mean, it was the attacking. I thought we were very good. I mean, the Chelsea defense was also shocking, but I thought Rashford was good. I thought Sancho played really well. I thought Casemiro was good as well. Fernandes, Garnacho, I thought when he wasn't too bad either. I mean, they all did their job at attacking. I think overall, like, they're a bit sloppy at times. We could have scored about 7 or 8 if we were a bit more clinical. We had the post, we had the crossbar twice, and there was a few other chances there that we should have scored that we didn't. But got the job done. Champions League, good scoreline. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, I mean that's it. Hold on a sec. But yeah, I mean, obviously, Casemiro was brilliant. He got the goal, the first goal, and I thought surely Tom hasn't got it right again. I mean, but then look at Casemiro, scored against Bournemouth, scored against Chelsea. So hopefully, because his form dipped a bit in the previous games, I won't lie. So maybe it's coming back. I mean, again, Chelsea, Bournemouth, they're not the best teams in the world as of now, but you could say that he's coming back to his usual self again at the right time with City coming up.
No, he is not. I think the issue was because he was out so much of suspension, he was a bit rusty, but that was bound to happen. Any player that is out for that long, but I thought I think he's been good. I mean, at the same time, I know they're mid-table teams, but you still perform against them. He did. I mean, imagine how bad it'd be if he didn't perform against them. Imagine if he was still rusty and we lost. He'd be getting more backlash. I mean, you have to perform these games and they do. I know they're not the most difficult teams, but there's a job to be done, which he did. Obviously, Man City are going to be a bigger challenge than Bournemouth and Chelsea, but at least he can get it done there. Hopefully, he can carry this form on for the final. But I mean, we have to wait and see for that, really.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, then obviously Anthony came off. I mean, when you look at it, mate, should we have had a free kick? I just thought Anthony was being his usual self, making a bit of a meal of it. But in fairness, he tried to walk on it, and it just didn't work. But I mean, what's your thoughts? I thought we done well when he kept, not saying that he's not a good player, but he is. But we don't know. We didn't do we still kept to our usual self when he came off. I thought Sancho on the right hand side was decent. Rashford left wing, Martial striker. Even in the second half when we took off Martial, 10, 20 minutes to spare. But do you reckon Anthony being out is obviously it's crucial, but do you reckon if we had it he's just that kind of, I don't know, that finishing touch, if you want to say, up top, pace wise, or shoot from outside the box if needs be, or
yeah, I think it's not ideal to be losing him for a final, but at the same time, it's not the biggest loss. I mean, he'll take the fullback on in fairness, and he's not the most clinical, but he's not a bad player. I think you have to give him a few years for him to properly become a good player, which we're going to have to be patient for him, but it'll hopefully be worth it come a year or two. But I think Sancho right wing's okay. I mean, it's not like we have to play Pellistri or something like someone experienced. Like Sancho has played a good few games, and he knows he's not the most amazing player, but he's not too bad. Like I mean, he should be okay hopefully for the final. But yeah, I think Sancho's much better as a right winger and left winger. I mean, he played right wing against Chelsea. After he came off, he did really well. I mean, got one assist, practically another one for Rashford, but I know it wasn't literally an assist, but he played very well. But he actually pretty good. I mean, I know again, same time, pretty easy opposition, but still played well. So I mean, you gotta give him credit for that. Like, but yeah, Anthony, a bit of a loss, but like at least it's not like Varane or Rashford or Casemiro, like one of the big names out. I mean, we can survive without Anthony, like, but it's still not ideal. Anthony's still a good player, and he's a solid winger. Like, he's pretty good. He's a good player, but like it's not like a player that like we're definitely gonna be in trouble if that he's out. I mean, we can survive.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, speaking of finals at Wembley, Luton are beating Coventry 1-0. So as it stands, we're going to have to choose someone's back garden to get to a football match. That's a very weird stadium. Like, literally, like you have to go through someone's back garden.
Yeah, I mean, imagine there's a woman just doing her laundry, and then she just sees a bunch of hooligans go up to the match.
Oh God! I mean, yeah, you'd want to hope, the teams with sad losers don't lose at their place. But yeah, that's as it stands, anyways. But yeah, I mean, obviously we have tomorrow's game against Fulham. Obviously we played these in the Premier League and we beat them 2-1. Garnacho got the late winner before the World Cup. Then we played them in the FA Cup, which had literally everything. Red cards, fights. We beat them 3-1. I know Bruno got one.
Bruno got two and Sabitzer got one.
Yeah, so yeah. I mean, that was a crazy game when you think back, wasn't it, when we played them at Old Trafford? That again was what it was without Casemiro. But we still played shit. Let's be honest. I mean, like, what's your thoughts on tomorrow's game? Like, you're confident? Like, do you reckon, Fulham, they're safe? Like, I was looking at the league table earlier on. They're 10th. If they win, they stay 10th. If they lose, they say that 10th is theirs. What do you reckon? Like, are you nervous, confident? What we saying? It's at Old Trafford as well, obviously.
To be honest, both teams are kind of they've done the job they wanted to do all season, so they're probably just going to both take it pretty easy. Just probably throw a few like B-team players, and they both teams are just going to take like a pre-season game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've got top four, we've cup final, they've got mid-table, they've had a very good season. They're both going to be like, yeah, sure, just it's not a very meaningful game. Like, I think we'll probably be okay. At Old Trafford. Still some decent players. I don't think Fulham will be going too much for the game. They've got the job done that they wanted to get done, so they're probably more than happy enough with that, which they should be. I mean, they've had an incredible season. I mean, we all thought they were going to just want to survive relegation. They came 10th, but that's a pretty good season, if you ask me. I mean, if both teams have done their job through the season, they're probably going to take it easy enough. They're not got anything to lose.
Yeah, no, that's it. I mean, the only thing we have to lose is third place, which, if we don't win tomorrow or, we lose our draw, I won't be, we blew it. Like, it'd be nice to finish third in Ten Hag's fourth season, but we'll talk about Ten Hag near the end because, you have to give it to the man. Fourth season, not too bad.
All about it, all not.
I mean, obviously, just looking at Fulham here, supposedly Tim Ream, Andres Pereira, and Kurzawa are out for Fulham, and Daniel James may return following a hamstring issue, so they could be out 4 players tomorrow. Obviously, Andres Pereira, who, decent move to Fulham, actually thought he's been doing well. So, do you reckon Fulham could struggle without them, or do you reckon if they were available, Fulham would probably still not play them? Pereira, for example.
Yeah, I mean, the decent player, like Pereira's pretty good. Tim Ream isn't bad either. I'm not sure about Kurzawa. I've never seen him probably play, to be honest with you. I don't think he's that good.
I think it's, that who he is, don't you?
Yeah, the French left back, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was just
yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like they're decent players, but I think still both teams are going to take it easy enough. Like, I mean, we've all got the jobs done that we wanted to get done. We're more than happy, but it'd be like a pre-season game, just a few B-team players, very slow, steady football, not going to be anything too dramatic or exciting. I mean, if it's a boring scoreline, don't be surprised because that probably will happen. Yeah, I'd say both teams will be looking just to give a few youth team players a chance, give a few players who haven't played much season a chance, which I can't fault them. It's probably the best thing to do. Give them a few minutes on the belt, at least say they've taken some part of the season. But yeah, I mean, they're decent players. Like they still have like Willian, Mitrovic, Jalpalini. Yeah, he's okay. Berlin, he's been really good for them. They have some decent players, but Grant, no need to panic.
Yeah, I mean, I know Newcastle are playing Chelsea, which Newcastle are going to win, aren't they? There's no point thinking Chelsea are going to maybe do us a favour if we need to. But yeah, I mean, obviously Fulham, you mentioned the players there, that key players that they have. Mitrovic is back. Keep you looking to, I don't know, I guess some sort of revenge, after that sending off. Same with Willian as well, who got the sending off. I think he's only back, Mitrovic, like 3 or 4 games ago, was he, or something like that? I know Mitrovic got like some mad 10-game ban, but he's not back,
I
bro.
think it was 8 games. Yeah, it was around 8 games.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, he's a key player for them. I think you have who's your guy? You have Carlos Vinicius, who decent, but he's no aggressive, crazy player. Mitrovic would run through walls.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, as I said, I mentioned the previous fixture, but Old Trafford, Tom. I mean, we've only lost once in the Premier League, twice if you count the Europa League defeat, but once in the Prem. We're just going to stick to the Prem. I mean, we've only lost there. As I said, we only lost twice. Obviously, we've drew a few games there and whatever. Even when we have been poor, is Old Trafford? Is it a fortress again? Like, is it? I mean, I know we're probably not going to have the same record next year. At Old Trafford, but
no, I'd say definitely fortress. I mean, only losing 1 game in the Premier League off season. Like you play 18 games at home.
yeah.
No, sorry, 19. My bad, 19. And we've only lost 1. That's pretty impressive, you ask me. And that was the opening day as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was like we were poor back then. So now like that's a very good record. I think. I mean, Old Trafford. I mean, we look so solid there. Like I mean, we've beaten Man City there, Spurs, Arsenal, Liverpool.
Top 6, I think, isn't it? Like
yeah,
top,
yeah, and obviously Chelsea there as well. But like, no, we're very good at home. Like the composure we have at home is just unbelievable. Like I mean, it's good now because obviously we were poor at home a while back there. Now, like remember we were good away under Ali, but at home we weren't the best. But now, tables have turned. I mean, like you need to win your home games. I mean, like you need to give the fans something to cheer on and be excited about. Which we've done that. I mean, that's incredible. I think it's been very good.
Yeah, it really, really is. And I mean, again, like I'm not sure who was said. Imagine if our away form was also decent. Like it hasn't been great. Like
I mean,
when we
that's what wins the titles. That's what wins the titles.
That's it. I mean, and it's something that they have to improve on because we're going to be in the Champions League next season, Tom. And you're going to face these big teams. Like you are, obviously that depends how far you make it, but you are going to have to maybe go to a Real Madrid or a PSG or even a Bayern if you want to throw in there, or I don't know, Real Madrid if I haven't mentioned them already, Barca, and then you can throw anyone, Napoli. Like it's something to improve on, and I'm sure obviously Ten Hag will obviously, improve it.
It will. No, I mean you have to give things time. I mean this for first season, this has been very good. I mean, he's got top 4, won a trophy, could win another one, and he's in the FA Cup final. That's good. That's still a press zone. But we're there to win it. Like, there to win it. It's been a good first season. Like, we've improved so much, and I do think it'll only go up from here. I mean, depending on how the transfer window goes, because there's a good few players that need out and in, or we need bring a few more players in, get a few of them out. Depends how long that'll take, because that could take longer than we want, which could delay the process a bit more. But I mean, we're just going to hope for the best. I mean, that's all we really can do.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's the main problem, I think, is just the ownership. Like, it's just so annoying. Like, I thought the Glazers were meant to make an announcement last night, but obviously they lost track of time, the Clouds. Which, yeah, I mean, again, another kind of question that people are asking, and obviously I know you predicted 11, so probably no point asking this question, but like I'll go through it anyways. Like, would you rotate the squad tomorrow, or would you maybe keep it the way it is? Like, like what you expect Ten Hag will do?
I'd say rotate the squad. I mean, you've got top 4. You have a cup final next week. The last thing you want is players getting injured, like key players getting injured just before the cup final.
Yeah.
Which I know, like this cup final is not going to be easy. I mean, like I'm not going to say my prediction now. I'll wait till a week. But like it's not going to be an easy match. You know, I mean, Man City they haven't lost a game since February. That's before I even went to Berlin. Like, I mean,
Who was that
that's a
again?
very long time. Like February, that's a very, very long time.
Yeah,
And,
that's
like it's not going to be like if you lose one of your big players like a Varane or a Rashford or Fernandes, oh, you're done. You're finished. Oh, you're finished. I mean, we have a chance. We're not like definitely going to lose. We certainly have a chance. Like, you know, like I think we'll put up our best fight and hopefully we can surprise people. But you want to take as little risk as possible now because you have top four. Like, if we were still fighting top four, you'd obviously have to put a strong team in. But because top four is already done, then you're simply just going to have to just rotate a few players, give a few young players a chance, and then that's all right.
The final one of that, I know I think nearly every time we talk about it, but it's hard because I think most of us are shitting it. But like, it's the final one of those where if you don't win, we're gonna get absolutely demolished. Like, is that what we're going with, or
it could be in fairness? Like, I mean, they beat Real Madrid 4-0. They beat Bayern Munich 3-0. Like, Liverpool 4-1. Like, Arsenal 4-1. Like, they played these big teams and demolished them.
Yeah, that's it.
And remember, they beat us 6-3 in October. I mean, like, they don't mess about. Like, they do not mess about.
Nope. Hold on a sec. Yeah, no, they definitely don't. Like, it's definitely one thing they don't do. Man City, and you know, I mean, listen, I'm sure Ten Hag has a plan. You know, like that's the thing. Like I know people City are heavy favourites. You know, as much as you know, like it or not. But you know, Ten Hag surely has something up his sleeve. I mean, you know, will you rotate? Will he? You know, will the team we see tomorrow be the team we potentially see on next Saturday? I mean, he'll probably. I don't know what's I'm looking for. Experiment a few things if so, but you know he probably wants to rest a few key players anyways. I mean, I'm sure he'll want to get the win, but you know whatever team starts tomorrow, I'll be happy. But just once, you know, don't start the injury-prone players, for example, Varane. Martial.
I'd say you best keep the big players out the game completely. I'd say just give him a rest, let him rest up, maybe bring him off the bench for 10 minutes or something like. But I mean, rest the main players like you know and injured. Like you got to make sure that the likes of Rashford, Martial, Varane, Fernandes, them and Casemiro make sure they stay fit, and like even like Luke Shaw and all them as well. Like I mean,
yeah,
make like if you know for a fact they'll be okay, maybe play them because they'll be grand. Like Fernandes, you might get away with that because he never gets injured and he plays the whole time. You get away with someone like that maybe, and a few others as well. But like, yeah, make sure Varane will be one of the pick there. Like if you injure him the last week for the cup final, oh my god, I'm going to be fuming. Like, I mean, Lindelof and Shaw are okay at centre back, but do you really think they'll be okay against Haaland and Grealish and Mahrez? You know, like Man City squad is not a bad squad at all. Like I mean, like there's no messing about with that squad. Like so, you're saying you're just gonna have to hope that like your key players stay fit and more. Like the squad we're going into it now, so like if no one gets injured from now until then, which hopefully that'll be the case, like that squad's still okay. It could do something, but at the same time,
yeah, no, I get what you're coming from.
Yeah, like it won't be easy.
No, definitely not, and I hope he does rest a few. Obviously, like, I mean, as far as obviously I haven't predicted the team out in front of me, but I think I've only started like one or two key players that potentially start in the final. But you know, it'd be interesting. It will be interesting to see what Ten Hag picks. But I'm sure he will rotate. I mean, a lot of people are saying the other day when I was in the watch long when we're pretty much done. Like it was 3-0 at the time. Would you rotate? A lot of mixed kind of maybe he will, maybe he won't. You want to keep that momentum up. It is interesting with Ten Hag because it's not like a recent. Like, he's not that kind of manager. Like he just you don't know what he's going to do. Like you just don't. But hopefully, if you can just rest Varane, Martial if you have to. Not sure if he'll make a difference against City, but still. you know. But yeah, it will be interesting to see what team he does put out. Anyways, tomorrow. But again, the other question is, I'm not, probably do, probably don't. But do you reckon Fulham have enough to beat us at Old Trafford?
They could, like, it depends who they play. Sure, I mean, they still have some decent players. They're not a bad team. Like, I mean, they've done pretty well. I mean, as I said before, they've done way better than we all thought they would this season. So you got to give them credit for that. Like, I mean, they could, like, it's hard to tell, but I'd say they're probably enough. I mean, sure, they came close enough the last 2 times. I mean, we didn't actually dominate them with them early this season, like, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's it. We'll go through their form here, anyways. Fulham. While we're at it, so let me just do this. So like, there's the Fulham form. Top. City beat them 2-1. Liverpool beat them 1-0. They beat Leicester 5-3. Beat Southampton 2-0 and drew 2-2 against Crystal Palace. So again, Fulham, Liverpool, they're not easy fixtures, so you have to give it to them. Leicester, high scoring game, but they got the job. Beat Fulham and drew 2-2 against Crystal Palace. So they 2 wins, 2 defeats, and a draw. So you could say they won 2 of their last 5.
Yep.
Looking at their form, like what are we thinking?
That's decent. I mean, it's decent form. I mean, it's what you expect from a mid-table team. I mean, Fulham are mid-table team. That's mid-table team form. It's not too bad. I mean, you're hardly going to beat Man City, Liverpool when you're mid-table. So I mean, I guess that's fair enough. Good result against Leicester, Southampton, Palace to draw. That's fair enough. I mean, that's what you expect. I mean, it's very like predictable. Like, I mean, that's what you expect from a team like them. Like, I mean, it's not like they surprised us by how good they were, how bad they were. That's pretty much bang on the money of what you'd expect from Fulham. I mean, beating Leicester, Southampton, poor teams, drawing against a team same level as Palace, and losing to teams much better than Man City and Liverpool. That's pretty much exactly what you expect from them. That's just spot on. Like, I mean, like, decent form, not the worst, not the best. I mean, for a mid-table team, I suppose it's okay. It's what you expect from them, but not too bad at all.
Yeah, no, that's it. And then just jump into our form quick, and I'm not going to talk much about it because I feel like we always show it. Lost against Brighton and West Ham, beat Wolves, beat Bournemouth, and beat Chelsea. So, like, you look at us, like, we look like we're starting to get back into form or pick up decent results. 2 defeats, 3 wins. So it's not bad either, Tom. But you'd expect us to win maybe 3 out of those 5, or maybe 5 out of whatever one you want to go with.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, we've improved. We've picked up a good bit. I mean, like 3 wins in a row. That's not too bad at all. 4-1, good result. The two losses there, they're not great, but I mean, every team this season has had a few shocking results. Like, I mean, sure, Brighton beat Arsenal 3-0. I mean, like, like West Ham got a result against Arsenal as well. I mean, like, these teams are bad. I mean, we should be winning them, to be fair, but I mean, you're gonna have a few bad results no matter how good you are. I mean, that's just football. Like, but yeah, good wins against some Wolves and Bournemouth. I mean, it was enough to get us top 4 what we wanted. So that's the main bit, to be fair. Like. So as long as they didn't cost us top 4, cost us anything major, I didn't mind too much. Like, and it hasn't, luckily, so that's fine. Like, I'm okay with that. But it's good form. Like, it's not bad at all. Like, it's solid enough. 3 wins out of 5. Like, maybe expecting to win against one of the 2 there, or maybe even both. You were really good form, but it's not too bad. Like, I can live with it. It's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, we needed 9 points to secure top 4, and we done that. We done that. We done it well. We done it fairly well. As well. But yeah, I mean, like, obviously tomorrow, I take your confidence. Probably be a boring game, as you said. But, like, what's your thoughts on Manchester United this season? Like, if you look at the 2 games at the start of the season, Brighton beat us, Brentford slapped us. Like, did you expect it to be, I don't know, a poor season, or did you expect us to maybe kick on? Ten Hag's first season signings. What were we expecting, especially after the Brighton game, or Brentford game? Sorry.
It was a bad start. Obviously, we can all agree on that. But I think I was expecting us to improve at least a bit, because a few players came in after the Brentford. I mean, we signed Casemiro late on, as well as Anthony. Like, the 2 of them came on only a few days before the window ended. Like, so you got to take that. I mean, and as well, Varane coming as well was a huge difference. Rafael Varane and Casemiro obviously, but Varane in the starting place because Varane came in from Maguire against Liverpool. We won. We were solid defensive. He played the next 3 games. We won. We were fine. I mean, we beat Southampton, Leicester, and Arsenal. Varane was in defence. Maguire was in defence. Big issues. Varane, solid, absolutely solid, no issue at all. It was just put in a few players that were just more solid. Like, I mean, that's the difference with some of these players. You know, like these players will win you games that like players like Maguire, they'll cost you. Like, there's a big difference between them. And when you add just a few players and get a few little things right, you build on it and you continue improving on it, which is what we did. Like, it was a big change for Liverpool game. Remember, we played Lango as well. Lango was good. I mean, he's not done much this season, but he had a good game there. I'll give him that. As well as, like, you know, Martial came on. He was good. Rashford wasn't too bad either. Sancho got a goal for himself. He wasn't the worst either. Who else? McTominay and not Casemiro, sorry. Christian Eriksen played. They were okay. Yeah. Defense was solid enough. Malacia, he did pretty well. I thought Dalot was okay as well. You know, like the players improved. I mean, like when you've got good players around you, they can help you. Like when you put the likes of Varane or Casemiro, experienced winners in the team, that's where you can get the best of the other players who haven't won much yet. That's how you improve a team. You put them around good players.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, like you kind of said it all there. Yeah, to be fair, well said. But yeah, I mean, like, hold on. That's all you need. Like that's what we need. Like, I mean, again, like back to the Brentford game, especially, like, you know, everyone's head just dropped. I mean, let's be honest. We were coming into that Liverpool game. We thought, I'll take a point. You know, happy days. We played brilliant. I mean, I think that was the game that kicked the season off. You know, that night at Old Trafford was just like, that was a special night. Like, not just was obviously beating Liverpool, but looked like there was something there. And everyone was buzzing as well because we signed Casemiro a few days before. He was there. He was watching. You know, everyone was looking at everything. Could be onto something here. Still a lot of questions over Casemiro at the time. Was he only here for the money? He's this, he's that, blah, blah, blah. He just got to show he hasn't came here for the money. And then, yeah, I mean, then I think we just started to go on a form. Then obviously the City game knocked us back to reality, and then we just kicked on. So we've had a few hammerings, mind you. City, Liverpool, you know, probably the 2 darkest days in my life. When we City stopped us in Liverpool.
They're all good. Like, I mean, say, like, you're going to have really bad results as the manager. I mean, 7, like, I don't mind losing as long as I see something. I mean, those 2 matches were just absolutely inexcusable. I mean, 7-0, that was just, it just went terribly wrong. I don't know how it went that bad. Like, I knew we were probably going to have a bad result from then to the end of the season, but I didn't think it'd be like 7. I thought maybe like a 3-0 or like maybe at very worst 4-0 or something. Not 7. That was disgraceful.
Not against Liverpool.
Like, yeah, Jesus. No, it was just poor. Like, just sometimes it can just go terribly wrong, and you just get made look like an absolute fool. But I mean, that's just life, really. The Man City one, yeah, that was a bit of a kick in the reality. I mean, like, that team was okay for a while, but City was just a bit too much for us, I think. I mean, I remember we benched Casemiro for Scott McTominay. We also played it was Rashford, Sancho, and Anthony. Like, Martial
was on the bench.
The difference Martial had when he was striker City. Martial doesn't let them press. Remember when we played them at Old Trafford? We was 0-0 at half time against City. We were doing okay. Martial, that was the Martial. Martial wouldn't let the defenders press it too high. Martial came out for the half time for Anthony. They started pressing. They got the goal. I mean, we came back luckily and all that, but Martial changed the game. He was the reason why he kept us in. Man City barely had a sniff that entire game. They only had like 2 shots on the first half because Martial wouldn't let them press. You need to play him in the final because he will not let the defenders press.
That's it.
Don't get him injured. Like, I know I've slaughtered him a good bit, and I think maybe it's best time to leave. But he was one last favour for us. If maybe we win the Billion Trophy, then yeah, goodbye.
Yeah, but that's like, he is good at that. Like, I know he wouldn't score. Like, he wouldn't give you goals. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, he'd lead you up to goals or whatever way you want to say. But yeah, he knows how to press. Like, he doesn't let teams. You know, he's always tight, and you can't go wrong. Like, his build up play can be decent. Like, you know, he drops back a few times. Like, we were pressing the other day, he was there, dropped back. So he makes a lot of options for everyone. Like, if he has to come back even deeper, he does. So, you know, he could be there. Rashford could be there. He just swing it on over and then be on his way. He's good at that. I know he's not the most reliable or consistent striker, but and he's injury prone, can piss people off, and I've slaughtered him myself as well, to be fair. But you have to give him credit where it's due sometimes. And if he doesn't start next week, I'll be very surprised. So he is good at that. I mean, we took him off at half time, but I think he done enough to just keep us in the game. Then second half, we just let's hit them. Some game that really was some game. But if you had to rate our season, Tom, like out of 10, what are we going with?
7.5. Good.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
There's more to do, but it was good. It was certainly not a bad season. I mean, like the home form, some of the players like the turn, like Rashford, Shaw, like so and obviously like Fernandez, Casemiro, Martinez, Varane. We won a trophy finally. We've won a trophy.
Yeah.
Top 4. I mean, left it late enough. Didn't make the easiest job, but we got it eventually. And another cup final. Hopefully, we win it. 7.5. Good season. Good.
Yeah, I'd actually agree with you as well, Tom. To be fair, 7.5. Decent season. I mean, again, as you said, top 4 trophy. Hopefully, we win another trophy. I think if we stop City winning the treble, we've probably won the treble ourselves. That give us 2 trophies for that place. Which I mean, again, we had a few bumps in the road, but you're always going to have them. You're always going to have them bumps in the road. And then Ten Hag's 4th season as well. Let's throw that in, like
the
Ronaldo situation.
He's done really well. Like, I mean, sure, Van Gaal's first season didn't win more than the rest. Well, I mean, he came 4th. David Moyes didn't even last full season. He got sacked. Solskjaer's first full season, he lost, I think, was it 3 semi-finals and he escaped 3rd. Like, Ten Hag's done very well for his first season compared to some of the other managers. I mean, Mourinho did win a few trophies, but he came 6th. He drew 15 games in a season. Like, that's no good. But Ten Hag's done very well for his first season.
Yeah, no, he definitely has. I mean, the Ronaldo situation settled that well. There's a few times where he's had to make big calls, and he has, and you have to give it to the fella. He's definitely done a better job than I expect him to do in his 4th season. And if he gets the backing and the proper ownership and that, he could be brilliant. And as you said, as well at the start, we can only get better from her. So it's not bad. I knew he would have done decent, but I didn't expect him to do so well and make big hauls in his 4th season. Some managers just, no, I can't.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Graham Potter came into Chelsea. He completely made a balls of that. I mean, Guardiola's first season didn't win anything. He came 3rd, didn't win anything though. Klopp first season didn't win anything. He came 8th. He came 8th in the league. He reached 2 finals. We lost both of them. Arteta first full season. I think he won the FA Cup, but he came 8th. And then like Lampard didn't win anything. He came 4th, I think. Like to compare, I know like difference in experience, but like these managers, I mean, Guardiola's amazing. First season, he only got Champions League, didn't win any trophy, didn't even get to a final, not even a final.
Yeah.
But he went to the board and needed some players in. He got rid of the dead wood, brought in some good players. Next season, they won the league by 100 points.
We need that.
Yeah, that's what we did. Exactly. I mean, but like, we're in a better position than they were. And like, see how well they improve. I know the owners is a big issue, and like we're not gonna get it spot on this summer. Like we're not gonna spot on, but we can get it as good as possible. We're not gonna get spot on. That'll take a few summers at least, but it's promising. Like it's something to look forward to. It's definitely promising, but you just gotta hope that it continues going well, and that we don't have any major setbacks like we've had the past few years.
Yeah. No, that's it. I mean, again, I even look at Ten Hag. Like, look at the people who own the club, and he's done well in his 4th season. Like, that's all he needs: new owners, guitar, whoever it may be, just wants not Ratcliffe or whatever, or the Glazers. If he gets the proper backing as well, like, he'd be brilliant. Like, that's all you need. Again, back to Pep Guardiola, gets the backing, and look at City now. Hope have the treble in sight, but hopefully Manchester United can maybe knock them off the road. But listen, we're going to go through. Actually, yeah, what we're here. Rate Ten Hag's first season.
Out of 10, like
Yeah.
8. Good.
I like it.
Still a bit more to work on, but good. Very, very solid. Very solid for a season.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, that's. I think that's a fair enough.
There's a few. The only issues I've had with Ten Hag is bringing on 2 weak players too early into a game. I mean, we were made pay against Sevilla and Spurs when we threw away 2-goal leads on both times. Other than that, and a few of the minor things here and there, he's done pretty well. I thought, I mean, he's impressed me a good bit. He's impressed, I think, everyone I found pretty good bit as well. Like, I mean, he's the most than we thought he would. 8, good season, very good season.
Yeah, no, so that's a good rating for his first season as well. Like, that's solid. And I'm sure maybe I'll come back to you next week as well if he wins the FA Cup against Man City. But listen, we're going to go through predicted 11 because it's an interesting one. I mean, Tom, we'll start with you anyway. So you've got a bit bit of rotation in there, so just run through it there anyways, Tom, if you can.
I mean, obviously De Gea, Malacia, Lindelof, Maguire, and then Dalot. And obviously McTominay, Fred, Fernandes, Garnacho, Weghorst, and Pellistri. I think it's going to be a beat team. We want to give these players a good bit of a chance. Rest up the key players for the final next week. I mean, sure, that's what you got to do. I mean, these players are not too bad. They're solid enough. They can hopefully get the job done. I mean, there's some obviously Garnacho, Pellistri. You got some decent, nice players in there who can turn up every now and again. Obviously, you got Fernandes, who's going to play the final. De Gea as well. Maybe. Lindelof as well probably will actually play as well, but other than them 3, I'd say the rest of them probably won't play in the final. I mean, I come off the bench, but I don't think they'll be playing the final at all. Like, I mean, it's a solid enough team. Like, give Weghorst the final chance to play for. He's a good boy. I mean, I wouldn't be signing him permanently. Like, I mean, thanks to the memories, but goodbye. Like, not been the best signing we've ever had, but he's done a few. I mean, he's done a few things like won a trophy. He's had a few okay games, but I won't be remembering anytime soon, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's gonna be a pretty rotated team. I wouldn't be putting too many big names in that team.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, don't get wrong, like Old Trafford, Weghorst, Workhorse, that's all he does is just run at people's face. His work rate's decent, but his finishing and style and skill is just poor. But anyways, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty decent team. Garnacho, not last year, whatever would have said, why starting here, but brilliant. Pellistri as well. Hasn't played in a good while. I think the Betis game was probably the last time we've seen him play. And then obviously Weghorst, more likely it'll be his last game in a Manchester United jersey. I can't see Ten Hag playing him in the final. As well. But here's my predicted 11. Some would say maybe going to be stronger. Slightly bit stronger. But up top is different. De Gea in goals, Malacia, Lindelof, Maguire, Dalot, midfield 3 of Bruno, McTominay and Fred. Then I've got Garnacho on the left, Sancho on the right, and Rashford down the middle. I know some would probably like to see Sancho being rested and Rashford, but I just think that he's going to just add a bit of, bit of threat up top. Not saying Garnacho isn't a threat, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
I mean, I mean, Casemiro, I don't want to see him play. Just rest him, rest Varane, rest Wan-Bissaka as well. He'll be coming up against Jack Grealish. If he starts, then Luke Shaw will be coming up against Mahrez or Bernardo Silva, whoever he play on that right-hand side as well. So, I mean, I'll be happy with your team, Tom. I'll be happy with my team. Either either. I'm sure you'd probably be the same yourself as well. But listen, I mean, McFred back, Michael off. But listen, it's only for one game. It's only for one game. We're going to go through score predictions, Tom. We're going to start off with you. I know, it's no point in talking. Here we go. Let's throw it up on the screen. Is it up?
It's up. It's going to happen, sure. I mean, both teams aren't just focused on just getting the game done with. I mean, not much to play for. It's going to be like a pre-season game. There won't be much. It won't be exactly a game we've got on the edge of your seat. You'd be lucky if you didn't fall asleep during it, to be honest with you, I'm guessing. But It'll be 0-0. I mean, again, as long as we win the FA Cup, I'm happy. I don't mind, to be honest with you. I mean, at least as long as we don't lose, which I mean we could, but I don't think we'll lose. We're not that bad.
No, not at Old Trafford. Maybe if it was away. Would I? I mean, listen, like I know some would say boring prediction, but if you're to take like with the two teams, you could say we both picked. Like, it's not a bad result. Like, it's not.
Yeah, it's the most realistic result, I think. Like, I mean, I'm not like I think we're not going to be expecting exactly a high action like drama filled match. Like, we're all going to expect a fairly easy paced, going boring match.
Yeah, no, that's it. I mean, again, as always, like, honest Tom. I mean, I'd say like if it happens, if it's 0-0, I mean, I won't be able to watch it anyway, so I'm alright as well. But here is my score prediction, anyways. I've just went 1-0. It's Rashford. Whatever it may be. I agree with Tom. Probably will be a boring game. Rashford will probably get the goal, and I don't know, force 20 minutes, and then sit back, have it, sit back. I mean, you probably get tomorrow being just one of those, like, the fans are probably just, there'll be none of this trying to concentrate. The fans probably just have a laugh. Everyone just be like, let's relax. People don't want to get the win or whatever, but let's just sit back, relax, and support the boys. Let's I don't know. Let's make this a training session if we can. But I doubt. I mean, next year there'll be none of that. Or next week there'll be none of this relaxation unless we hammer City, which it's not happening. Let's be brutally honest here. But again, last preview of the Premier League season. Tom, thanks for joining me. Much appreciated as always.
No bother.
And then obviously we have the preview for the match next week as well. City big final, but focus on tomorrow's game. Do we know what's on for tomorrow? As I said, for the watch on tomorrow, as I said earlier on. So I don't know. We'll probably try and make up for whatever. But enjoy the game. We're in the Champions League. Liverpool are going to be playing Europa League, which is going to be absolutely brilliant, Joe, as well. And follow our socials, links in the description. Let us know your score predictions in the comments, and we'll speak to you all in a bit. Have a good one.